I know it just seems like one big run-on sentence, but it's actually a podcast. Here's what's coming up on The Nice Guys today.
Can I pull a topic that I would like to cover first, or do you want to just go ahead and...
Sure, why not? I just set the whole damn wheel up and just spun it, but fuck all that, right? Go ahead and just pick one anyway. Who cares?
I really wanted to get to this one because this is one that
Doug.
actually...
Sure, why not?
This involves
just
the
ignore
community.
all the hard work that I've done. It took me a good hour and a half to set all this up and all the maintenance I do on the wheel during the week. And you know what? Maybe we don't even need the fucking wheel anymore. Just pick the topics. Go ahead. I'm not offended, Doug. Oh my God, it's so funny. The whole, I'm sorry, totally completely off track.
Oh God, how do we went from Enterprise to Emperor's New Groove to everything. You did good. Thanks, Tim. God. Tim, straight shooting Tim. Now we're just going to call him straight shooter.
Broadcasting from the back room of El Pollo Hermanos. It's Los Chicos de Niza por Negocios. They may take our lives, but they'll never take the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Sounds Irish. That's dumb. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Funkin' fans, welcome back. Welcome back. So Doug has already brought up two things that are not on the topic list from the speed read that I did as quickly as I possibly could. So if you if you listen to the Easter egg on Tuesday, you might have heard this, but Doug was like trying to squeeze one more topic in as I was doing the speed read. And Doug described it as like, you know, when you're playing roulette, right? And the ball is spinning and you try to put that last bet down, right? And I basically told him, dude, I was the dealer and I'd run my hand over the table already saying, no more bets, no more bets.
So would that enable you, or would that cause you to be actually kicked out of the casino? Cause that's like,
no, basically the way it works is
if
you're at a roulette table and the guy puts his hand across the table, for those of you who don't know, who are not gamblers, roulette, I'm sure you guys know how roulette works. You spin a little marble and basically it drops into a slot, right? As the wheel's spinning. But they start spinning the marble, right? And you can still make bets when the marble starts spinning, but at some point it slows down enough that the dealer basically lays his hand flat over the table, like in the air above the table, and says, no more bets, right?
You're right.
If you try to put a bet down, he has the ability to basically say, that's not a bet, right? So in other words, if the number comes up,
he's not going to grab your chips off the table.
No.
He'll just say, that does not count.
No. He'll basically point at it and say, that's not a bet. No bet there. Right. He won't physically, I don't think. Because if he physically picks it up, then somebody may say, oh yeah, well he moved mine or changed mine. And he'll basically just point at it and go, that's not a bet.
I got you.
So
and
anyway,
then they have to
what's
play
the
the
one
whole
you're
tape
bringing
over
up?
again. Well, let's introduce ourselves.
Not the one you were adding onto the list, which was Anna. There was another one you wanted to bring up?
No, I was remembering a bunch of stuff that happened. I got back from Tucson, Arizona. I didn't have a chance to go through this on Tuesday's episode, but I was doing a keynote speech for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and let me say this about Enterprise. What a fucking amazing company they are. It's not just a great company to rent cars from, and this is not a commercial for Enterprise. They're not paying any money. They're not endorsing this show. None of that. This is just out of what I feel in my heart, that they are truly an amazing organization to work for. This group of people, it's probably, 150, 200 people in the room. And they're in their, I guess, mid-20s, I would say, to mid-40s, but probably skewing towards the lower side of that, probably in the 20s and early 30s. This is such a customer-focused organization that they have these things. So the guy, the big boss that was there, the one that hired me, his name is Ryan Todd. So Lisa, thank you for bringing me in and introducing me to Lisa Ampill. Thank you for introducing me to Ryan. Ryan now introduces me to his audience. Okay. So all of his employees that are there. And it was so funny. I can't remember the exact words of the introduction, but the introduction was something like, we really appreciate Lisa for finding Doug, doing all the research. And, Lisa, we gave you a couple of things that we needed you to help in order to qualify whether Doug was going to be able to come in or not. Thank you for finding us a speaker that fit our budget. I'm like, damn, that is not how you want to be introduced as a guy that's going to fit our budget. But he was just a funny guy. So he was saying that tongue in cheek. I mean, he really meant it a little bit, but yeah, I did drop my price a little bit because of the name Enterprise, but they also did buy 150 or so of my books. So I felt like it was a wash there. So I basically got my price, but at the same time, it was really nice to have him introduce me in a funny way, because it basically set the tone for the entire keynote that I was doing. So one of the things that they have is this thing called absolutes. These are the absolute things that people that come into, customers that come into their shop or their store or their storefront, this is the stuff that their customer service people or their salespeople must do in order to feel like they have accomplished the mission of providing proper customer service. One of the things is this. It's called the sushi greeting. Now, do you know what a sushi greeting is?
No idea.
Okay. Have you ever been, do you eat sushi at all?
Sure.
Okay. So when you go into a sushi restaurant, the guys that are behind, like this, you envision walking into a sushi restaurant, what do you generally see?
Sushi.
Okay. So you see like the sushi bar, and you usually see like 2 or 3 guys standing behind the sushi bar.
Right.
Like cutting the sushi, like doing their thing. And then every one of them, generally, when you come into the restaurant, they're all like, hello, hello. They're like that. That's the sushi greeting. Hello, hello. And so what was so great about that is, when I said it at the time, I wasn't thinking that was going to be funny. Just like, you heard it and you thought, hey, that's pretty funny. So I just did the sushi greeting. So one of the absolutes, the first one is the sushi greeting. So I basically say, what happened? And I set the whole thing up, and I said, they say hello, and I just, put my hand up in the air, like stiff arm up in the air, and did it with a slight Chinese or Japanese accent. And they started cracking up. So they sent me, like the day after I left, they sent me like little video clip from one of the sessions that they were doing after I left, and they must have been talking about the sushi welcome. So he did basically 15, like a 15-second little tweet of just them doing the sushi greeting, and then everybody in the room, like all of them, are going hello, hello, and it was so funny just to watch 100 people or whatever it was do that sushi greeting. So I love it. We had a great time. Enterprise.
Did you actually talk to them about sponsoring us? Maybe they should.
No, I didn't. Maybe I should do that, shouldn't I?
That would actually
be a great sponsor for us to have.
It'd be a great sponsor for us to have.
I mean, the issue is they're a privately held company. They don't do anything from their headquarters. Everything is done regionally.
Really?
So yeah,
well, it's
really,
because they have national ads too, right? Like their ads right now. Patrick Warburton.
No,
the actor.
No.
Oh my God, Patrick. Okay, so he's really well known as on Seinfeld years ago. He was Putty, which was Elaine's boyfriend.
Okay.
But the other stuff you might know him from, he had a show called Rules of Engagement for a while that wasn't really that big. Family Guy, he plays he does the voice of the guy in the wheelchair.
Okay.
And my favorite have you ever seen The Emperor's New Groove?
No.
Oh God.
I love the guy in the wheelchair.
One of my favorite like Disney animated movies that people don't know about as much. He plays Kuzco. But basically his voice is he's one of these guys. Right.
Yeah.
Like he's like super deep voice, but
I see
everything is like,
about. I see him now. I see who you're talking about.
Oh yeah. So you're looking at the picture, right? So
yeah,
like the national, the Enterprise. Shit. You know what? I better make sure this is Enterprise.
No,
not
National actually is the same company. That was
Enterprise?
really good.
Okay,
yeah,
good. I thought it was the same.
Enterprise owns National.
Maybe it was maybe it is National then, and not Enterprise. I don't remember. Anyway, so the ad they got right now is he's on an operating table, right? And basically it's something like, when you're good enough that you can perform a self-appendectomy, right? And it was like 3 doctors standing around him, looking at him like, what the hell? And he's reaching into his own gut. And he's like, oh, that was stuck in there pretty good. Okay, I got it. And then he comes walking out with his robe on, like his hospital gown, right?
Yeah.
And he pulls the hospital gown off as he's walking through this lot of cars. And of course, he's got his full suit underneath, right? His hospital garb. He pulls it like, and what I love about Enterprise is I get to walk out and I can pick any car in the row I want. ow, that's still a little bit tender, right? And they pull out and you notice he's still got his booties on, right? He's got like the hospital booties, but he is one of my absolute favorite voiceover guys because he's so dry. You have got to see The Emperor's New Groove. Okay. It is just, oh my God. It is the greatest. It is one of my absolute favorite Disney animated movies. That's not the big ones that everybody knows. Right.
Hey, guess what? Surprise. We're off track.
We haven't even gotten to a topic yet. I know. But Kuzco, oh my God, this Kuzco character is just, it's so freaking brilliant. So there's one scene in it, right, where he's got like these shoulder angels, right? He has a shoulder angel on one side and a shoulder devil on the other side, right?
Yeah.
And they're both him, right? And the shoulder devil is basically saying, "No, dude, come on, you got to go do this because of this." And the angel's like, No, I don't think you should do that. I think you should do it. And then the shoulder devil stands on his head like he's doing a handstand, and he's like, "No, you need to listen to me because here, check it out. I can do this." And he does a handstand, right? And then he goes, "Wait a minute. What does that have to do with anything?" And the angel goes, No, wait a minute. He's actually got a point there. And you're like, what the hell? Because this is all in his head. All three characters are in his head. And it's like, he does a little handstand. He's like, no, he's actually got a point there. What? Oh my God. It's so funny. The whole, I'm sorry, totally completely off track.
How do we went from Enterprise to The Emperor's New Groove to everything. You did good. Thanks, Tim. God. Tim, straight shooting Tim. Now we're just going to call him straight shooter.
You have got to see it. It's, oh my God, it's so funny, and he just makes the character. It's so freaking brilliant. He's hilarious.
So one of the highlights of my trip to Arizona, in addition to hanging out with the folks at Enterprise,
the God-fearing Arizonans who love adult bookstores.
Oh, no. Yeah, man, there are a lot of adult bookstores. There are a lot of churches and adult bookstores along the main highway. I think it's Highway 10. Are they next to each other? No, I think that'd be kind of creepy. But, I mean, no.
I think it's kind of creepy that there are lots of churches and adult bookstores. But...
There are. And, there's a lot of brown out there, too. It is big brown state. Jeez, it is a hot, oppressively hot state. It felt like you're literally walking into a sauna when you're walking outside from
my
being
grandmother moved out there when I was in high school, right? And so my last year of high school, I was thinking about going out there for college, right? I've lived only on the East Coast my whole life, right? And I go out there, and it was January, and they were having a little bit of a heat wave. So it was still only like 60 in January, which I'm like, this is great, right? It's like warm all the time. I was there for 6 days, right? At the end of 6 days, I realized I could never live out there because it's that way all the time. Like, you don't realize how much you miss green or how much you miss cold or how much you miss rain when you don't, until you don't have it.
Well, in the temperature, though, it's brown and brown and brown, but the temperature is right now, again, I think it was 100, 105 degrees, and we're in like middle of September, and it was just, you can't escape it. You're either too hot or too cold, because when you're inside, they got the AC cranked all the way up. It's just amazing to me that people can get like used to that. I can't get used to that temperature.
Well, what's interesting to me, because I go to Vegas a lot, and it's the same type of temperature in the summertime where it's ridiculously hot.
Yep.
I find the Baltimore area, when it is, let's say 85, or 90, but the humidity is at 80%. I find that way more oppressive than the dry heat.
Yeah. I like the dry heat better than that the humid heat that we get here. And it does seem like when you're 80 degrees and 90% humidity that it feels like it's 110. Yeah. It's ugly. It's sticky hot. Anyway, so I had dinner with Anna.
I know, that's cool.
That was one of my most favorite experiences. In addition to doing the Enterprise thing, I completely brought the wrong clothes too. So so I'm driving by. So the speech I gave was in Tucson, but I flew into Phoenix because that was the easiest spot for me to get the rental car and to stay in the hotel, and it was near the airport, and they had direct flights, all that stuff. So anyway, so I flew into Phoenix, and I brought completely the wrong clothes. So I was wearing like jeans and a pullover. It was like 105 degrees. I'm like, this is not going to work. So I go do the gig, and as I'm driving back, I just stopped in the Target. And have you ever done that? You just bought a whole new change of clothes.
Not often, but I have done it before.
Shoes, shorts, and shirt. I'm like, I've just got to I got to be like comfortable because I can't drive for the next 2 hours in this heat. Even driving in it, even though there's air conditioning in the car, it was too hot. Mm-hmm. So I had dinner with Anna, and we just completely had this whole jam session on coming up with ideas about really cool things to do. And one of the things we talked about was we've got to come up with a Nice Guys tour. Like, look at the top 5 to 7 cities that the Nice Guys podcast plays, and go visit those cities, and then see if we can even find potential sponsors to take over, like, the Nice Guys tour sponsored by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, or something like that. That would be really great. We are just so disorganized.
Can I make a
How is it that we've managed to actually develop a successful business? How is that even possible?
I'd like to make a suggestion on the Nice Guy tour.
Okay, go ahead.
Because obviously, if we're going to do a tour, that means, somewhat significant expense of flying somewhere and like making appointments in numerous cities, right?
Yeah,
which I'm fine with, except that
I
we
think
have
we have
no
to have
idea if anybody would even show up.
Well, right. Well, that's just it. Probably nobody will show up.
Well, then why don't we test it somewhere where the expense would be much less? Like, let's say, Rockville.
That sounds like a good idea.
I mean, we know we have a good number of listeners in the DC area, right?
That is very true. So we actually could probably call, like, I think Paul was on this.
We need to talk to Paul and get one of his
really do. To sponsor. Wasn't Paul on this for a moment? Wasn't he?
The other thing that I love about it is if let's say we find one of the bars that Paul has connections with, and we do like a live episode. We'll do our Tuesday, Thursday episode live from there. Look, if people do show up, cool, great. If they don't, fuck it. We do our episode from there anyway.
Well, it's fine. It's just kind of like we did the Southwest Air episodes, 2 of those. We didn't necessarily need a crowd. We don't need a crowd at a bar. It's just the whole idea that we don't even need any people.
I know.
We could just do it. I mean, we've managed to do almost 500 episodes of this fun show and really never have anybody on the show.
True.
I mean, who needs people?
Who needs people?
I feel the same way about clothing. I just like my pajamas. The whole idea of a tour, it could be, the Nice Guys on Business Pajama Tour. I think this is a great idea. This has got legs. And then we could get like a pajama company. Well, who makes pajamas?
I don't know. Let's look it up on unfolding.biz. See if they
I want mine with footies in it, though. Can I do that?
Let's say pajama.
Footy.
M-A-S.
No, they're not going to have pajamas. Tell me they're not. Unfolding.biz.
Oh, they do.
They have pajamas?
No footy pajamas.
Oh, wait a minute.
They do have like flannel plaid pajama pants, and they do have a unisex lounger pajamas, which is like a onesie, but no feet.
I am going to go to footedpajamas.com. Actually, foot pajamas. Oh my gosh, there is actually a footedpajamas.com website. This is
so they personalize it with our logo?
Let me see. Can we? Footed, PJ's Pet, Kiss from Mom pajamas. I don't see that you can actually personalize these.
Well,
do I want them with the drop seat, because every once in a while I got to go brown, It's tough to, you got to unzip. These actually have hoodies too. A hoodie footy pajamas. That's the best. Hoodie footies.
Well, these are
$40.
The ones from Unfolding are a hoodie. They just don't have feet in them.
Hey, do you happen to recall that we used to have what was the name of the company that we what was the name of their company? The ones that the overall companies, not overall.
Yeah. Sweetjumpsuit.com.
Sweet Jumpsuits. That's right. We have to have a resurgence of sweet.
I still have my jumpsuits. We could wear our jumpsuits. That would be like
that. Really is true. Fun. We really could. Sweet Jumpsuit.
Maybe for Halloween we could do an episode from a bar. Well, no, they're going to be really crowded on Halloween. Most bars will be really crowded.
Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Yeah,
all right. Anyway, let's talk about some of the topics we have on the list. We did the tease read of the topics on Tuesday's episode. Then we had the Wednesday episode, and now we are back to just our fuckery. So why don't we?
No, I'm sorry. It's too late. The episode's done. I really wanted to get to the 12 things. The 12.
Oh my God, that was forever. That was forever ago. Wow. 12 worries every entrepreneur had. That one
lying. Yeah.
Or they're lying. We used to have those kind of topics when we were a business podcast.
Right, where it was actually a little focused on business. Okay, let's get with the old, let's spin the wheel.
Wow, what is that?
That's the wheel. I know, right? The wheel. I mean, I set the shit up. I might as well actually do something with it, right? I got all my topics and all the felt and all that crap, and we're not even going to use it. I'm going to have to tear it all down for next week.
What's the setup and breakdown? What's the strike and setup time?
Dude, we talked about this on Tuesday. I don't want to go into more details about the wheel. I've got
you didn't
the
tell
closet,
me
the wheel.
You didn't tell me the setup
topics.
time, though.
Huh?
I was curious. What is the setup time? Apparently, you have to set it up every time that we do the show. Is what I'm just now hearing, and I didn't realize that. I thought you kept it. I thought you kept it up the entire like time we've had it.
Well, I keep the physical wheel up, but I need new topics, and depending on what the topics are or how many they are, I need different color felt and different size felt, and then I got to put the topic on the felt, and
Yeah.
I mean, it takes time to do this.
I didn't know. Have you ever had to do any maintenance on the wheel, and is it something you need a wrench for,
It started out as like an old time carnival wheel, so yeah, it needs constant maintenance. Constant, like lots of WD-40, and yeah. It does. But you know what? That's how much we care about our funkin' fans.
So can I pull a topic that I would like to cover first, or do you want to just go ahead and?
Sure, why not? I just set the whole damn wheel up and just spun it, but fuck all that, right? Go ahead and just pick one anyway. Who cares?
I really wanted to get to this one because this is one that
Doug,
actually.
Sure, why not?
This involves
just
the community.
All the hard work that I've done. It took me a good hour and a half to set all this up, and all the maintenance I do on the wheel during the week. And you know what? Maybe we don't even need the fucking wheel anymore. Just pick the topics. Go ahead. I'm not offended,
we
Doug.
totally need the wheel. The wheel is great for effect. It's good to have a subject to talk. It's good to have a topic to talk about. And the topics wheel is a topic that we can talk about. I thought maybe if we started this week, and maybe I could just pull this one off of the wheel. I've got the felt in hand. If you like, I can replace it with a blank piece of blank pie-shaped felt. But I thought maybe we would use this topic of reading the reviews on iTunes as one of the first ones because it really does involve the community.
Okay, Doug. Go ahead.
Hey, which one did it land on, though? Just curious. Was it that one?
Oh, so now you want to know which one it landed on, now that you've already picked your own damn topic. Okay.
No, we can do the one. But apparently I've ruffled some feathers here. I want to make sure I'm making good. So why don't you go ahead, Strick? Tell me what topic you pulled, and that way we'll do that one first.
By the way, a little exposition. All I can think about right now, I can't even barely keep myself from laughing.
What?
Tennessee Tim, straight shooter Tim, probably 2 months ago. Did he email or text? I can't remember how he reached out, but he said, "Is the wheel real? Is there really a wheel?" I don't want to break the illusion for everybody, especially with the length that we have gone to in our Tuesday and Thursday episodes this week to talk about the detail of the wheel.
Yeah.
But Funkin' fans,
yes,
and you're going to have to be a real listener to know this because I'm only going to mention this maybe once or twice a year. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no wheel.
It's no,
it's not real.
Wait, you are so lying, Strickland.
No wheel.
Strickland. Next thing you're going to tell me that there is no Easter Bunny or Santa Claus.
You're Jewish. I didn't think you believed in Santa Claus anyway.
Do not tell me that there is no wheel. I do not believe you. I don't want to believe you. It's not real. What
do you
you're
have the
saying.
iTunes reviews up there, Doug?
I do.
Why don't we read some of those? How many do we have, by the way?
We have 157 reviews.
Wow. What's our most recent? How long ago was our most recent one put on there?
The 16th.
Oh, because you force our guests to do them, right?
Well, yeah, sure. I actually don't know who. I can tell you what their name is on
The Twitter handle, their Apple handle, right?
Well, Strick doesn't. I mean, we've already chatted about this, so I'm not going to get into the whole like who leaves them and why are they leaving them? Why are they leaving them? But I can tell you, we do get many more that are not guests on the show.
Okay,
although one of
some of them. I'm curious to hear what our Funkin' fans have to say.
So,
do we have any less than 5-star reviews?
Well, we do have one. So we have 156 5-star. We have 0 4-star, 0 3-star, 0 2-star, and 1 1-star review.
Oh, shit.
So should I start with that one?
Yeah, please. Tell me. Well, first tell me when that was left.
It was left March 29th.
This year?
This year, yeah, March 29th of this year. Okay, so the title of the review is "What's the Big Deal?"
Okay.
Here it is. It's a short one. Why is this show so highly rated? I have not heard anything useful yet. I can hear useless banter from guys with a high school vocabulary at any corner bar. Just my humble opinion.
Dude, I am so good with that review. Can I tell you why?
Okay, go ahead.
That's the guy that just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Not to insult them. You know, if it's like Howard Stern, he hates us, so he's probably listening still, right? Have you ever seen Coen Brothers movies like Fargo or The Big Lebowski or
I can't remember. But anyway. Yeah, okay, but go ahead.
I am totally not a fan of Coen Brothers movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the kind of humor generally that I like. Right. Like it's dry. It's really kind of smart. You know, it's quirky. It's different. And in general, I love that stuff. And the people that I know who really like Coen Brothers movies, they like a lot of the same kind of stuff and the same comedies and the same type of movies that I like. But I just can't get into them. And it's so funny because when I tell people that, they're like, you just don't get it. And like on the one hand, I get a little insulted.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Okay, maybe these movies are cooler than me and I don't get it. But on the other hand, it's like, I kind of get it. I just don't like it. And I'm okay with that. I am really good with that review.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, especially since it's 156 5-star reviews and then 1 1-star review. So whatever. Exactly. Okay, so let me read just a handful of them, just so you guys have so I can give you credit for it. And I think we should maybe read 1 or 2 every episode. I mean, we get several a week at this point, so we may as well read.
Well, the show is about the show. I mean, we've already established that.
Right. So here's one from Rizabiz in September. He left one. It said, "Add the podcast to your drive. A must, refreshing and real, plus a lot of inspiration and insight." So that's good.
Yeah, Rizabiz. Thank you. I love that.
I got one from DJY572. I strongly recommend this podcast for the amount of new information they provide. As a business owner, it is important that you stay informed and learn from people who have been there and done it before. I recommend staying up to date with this podcast.
Well, look, we have been there.
Don't want to get behind. We
have been there and done it before, but like the part about actually conveying that information over the podcast, I don't know if we do that so much anymore, but I appreciate it.
Well, maybe we do that on our Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I suppose we do. I do think we stumble across good business advice sometimes, and Lord knows we have been there and done that. That's for damn sure.
Stumble across. Yeah, if we come up with a pearl of wisdom, we actually didn't mean to. Give 1,000 monkeys 1,000 typewriters, and in 1,000 years they're bound to write Hamlet. I've always heard that one. From D.L. Brower in September also, if you've always wondered where the nice guys in business are, look no further. This podcast highlights all the ways the nice guys finish first and has fun along the way. And then from Backpacker... Yep,
God,
I like
these
that
are
one
so
too.
Good. We should have been doing this ages ago. I never looked at these. I love it.
I know. I do like that too. From Backpacker 8009, great to helpful advice. Great to hear new and interesting perspectives on every show. Top-notch guests and great discussions as well.
Nice. Maybe you'll run into him in the national park somewhere.
Maybe so.
I won't, because I won't go to the national park. I mean, if I see a backpacker in a bar in Vegas, I might say, "Hey, are you backpacker 80 or 9?"
So let me contradict the 1-star review that we got with this one. This is from JD78. He left this one just a couple weeks ago. Refreshing podcast, chock full of information. Solid podcast with great guests and information that inspires you to get off your butt and into action with your business. And yes, they really do sound like nice guys. Do yourself a favor and subscribe. That was a good one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, JD78.
You guys, you listeners, if you want, what did we say about a spinner? If you want a spinner, just reach out to us and ask for one, right?
Right.
If you're on Patreon.
Right.
Like, you got to at least donate $1 and we'll send one to you.
Yeah,
so reach out to us.
For $1, you're getting a spinner. For $1,
exactly.
you're getting a spinner.
You can donate to Patreon $1 a month and get a spinner. If you want one, just reach out to us, either email or call or whatever, and tell us you want one, and we'll get in touch with you and get your address. But man, that's so sweet. I love all those reviews. That's very cool.
Patreon.com/nice guys. That was not the reason why we read those reviews, but we read the reviews so that we can actually feel good about something in our lives.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay, so that is that. Hey, Strick, when was the last time that you did the Amazon purchase of the week? Is it possible that you can dig those up?
I mean, we get new ones all the time. We haven't really talked about it lately much, but I can pull it up right now. Would you like to pick another topic from the wheel, since you seem big on just picking a topic while I pull up Amazon? I mean, it's going to take me a minute to pull up Amazon anyway. You might as well just pull one up.
Okay, so
Paul Moreno, but Facebook knows everything. Are you sure it was your birthday? I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, that's actually where it landed. The one you ignored and didn't ask.
Oh, okay. What was the one that it landed on? Where?
Paul Moreno, but Facebook knows everything. Are you sure it was your birthday?
Yeah, so I get on Facebook and I noticed that Paul Moreno was celebrating a birthday, and we completely flubbed. We missed it, and then I felt really bad that we missed it, especially since he's a contributor to the show, and he's oftentimes he's helping us out, and he is actually fan zero. So he's the first listener to the Nice Guys on Business podcast.
I think we decided to call him the original Funkin' fan, not fan zero.
I didn't call him patient zero, fan zero. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's only a half step better.
Okay, so the original Funkin' fan, Paul Moreno, it was his birthday. He's probably, is he 30 yet? I don't even know.
Probably not.
No, I don't. He's got a young kid. A young guy. Anyway, Paul, it was your birthday. So I reached out to him on Facebook, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't do it. I didn't even realize it. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. And he goes, it's okay. Facebook, I did not tell them it was my birthday. So I didn't even realize that you can get on Facebook without telling them what your birthday is. But maybe that's one of those options that you can leave out. I have no idea.
So if you didn't see it on Facebook, how did you know it was his birthday?
It didn't happen because I saw somebody wished him a happy birthday on Facebook. So I'm like, oh, shit, I missed your birthday. And I felt bad. Oh, no. You know what it was? It was, I wished, Muhammad Hamwi's birthday is the same day that Paul Moreno's birthday is. So I left Muhammad Mustafa. Sorry, Mustafa. I didn't mean to call you Muhammad. Mustafa Hamwi's birthday was a week or two ago, and I left him a video message, and Paul wrote down a message. It's good that you have a great birthday. It's the same day as mine. And I'm like, shit, I didn't realize. So I go over to Paul's page, and I'm like, I don't fucking see that it's your birthday, Paul. I thought he was just pulling my leg. It was actually his birthday, but he didn't post it with Facebook.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Anyway, what is Paul? Happy birthday to you, buddy. What is the Amazon purchase of the week?
The Amazon purchase of the week. I don't know if I like this one or not.
Well, how many purchases do we have? Do we have a bunch?
We have 8.
We have 8?
Yeah, we have 8. Yeah.
Hey, have any of our turnkey clients bought the microphones and stuff through our link?
I don't know, maybe. Not this
well,
week.
Do you see any microphones and other shit?
Well, not this week. Hang on. Let me open up my filter a bit and do a larger date range.
Oh, sorry. So you're telling me we had 8 purchases just this week alone?
Oh, yeah. Within the last 7 days, yeah.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like 36 cents a piece, or what are they?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, one of them was like a Smart Tree intelligent battery base for Echo. That was a significant one. HP OfficeJet Pro wireless all-in-one photo printer. And then the rest, it's like 2 little lightning cables that we made like 12 cents on.
Right.
A wall beard cord or cordless rechargeable trimmer, like a beard
trimmer. All right,
trimmer.
fuck all that. You're right. That's pretty boring. What's the Amazon purchase of the week?
Well, there's a book called
purchase of the
Mind
month.
Beyond Death by Jogan Ponlop.
What the heck? That's Mar. That's got to be Mar.
Indispensable guidebook through the journey of life and death. Mind Beyond Death weaves a synthesis of wisdom remarkable in its scope, with warm informality and profound understanding of the Western mind. Tibetan teachings on the Bardos.
You know that is a Mar purchase. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I certainly am not
is that
intelligent
a racist
enough.
Comment? Is that because she's Korean?
What? What does that have to do with that?
It's like,
So you're going to just dig yourself a big hole now.
I was trying to be funny like it was on you, but obviously
It
you
was
just turned it
not.
on me, but it's all good.
It was not funny. No, I was saying that she is much smarter. I would never have purchased that book because I'm probably not intelligent enough to read it. But I think that she is an avid reader, and that totally falls in line with like her whole the whole mind thing that she has. Like her poetry is amazing. So I'm thinking that she's really like delving deep into the mind with that book. Is that kind of what that's about?
Could be. Yeah, that's what it seems like. And by the way, I thought it was the last 7 days. That was actually already set to the last 30 days. So it was only 8 purchases in the last 30 days. Yeah. By the way, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, since we rarely never talk about it anymore, there's a link on our show notes that is at Amazon.com, Nice Guys link. If you are purchasing anything on Amazon, I mean, I'm sure you guys have never heard of this little store called Amazon.com.
No.
If you ever do an Amazon purchase, click on that link first. It doesn't cost you anything at all. It doesn't really change your Amazon experience at all. But we basically get a little tiny commission from anything that you buy when you use that link. And it just helps Amazon know that you got there through us. And it just helps the Nice Guys out a little bit.
Hey, I have a question. I have a question. When will Amazon take over the Whole Foods? Or have they already?
Oh, they have already. In fact, not only did they take over Whole Foods, they made an announcement that they were reducing prices on like thousands of items by like 25%. And they made the announcement that they were reducing prices on a bunch of stuff, and they got 25% more traffic in the stores the week that they said that.
What? That's nuts. So they're opening up the store to now. Does the store want to be? Not that they have any choice anymore because they're now a part of Amazon, but lowering the cost of the products and services or the products in the store also will bring in a different type of person into the store.
Possibly.
I think. So. You're not only going to get the guy that is health conscious and wants organic and Whole Foods and just single ingredient products, but you're now going to also get people that want all that stuff. Oh, and a cheap product too, and a discounted product too. Now I'm not saying that because you're buying something organic, you should pay more for it, but is it bringing in somebody that wouldn't necessarily shop at that store?
Well, I think that's the whole point. And, when you go into a, grocery store, right? It's not like you think about, oh my gosh, I want to make sure we don't attract the wrong crowd in the grocery store, right?
Well, hold on a second.
It's not like you're talking about a bar or something.
I'm gonna respectfully take a different approach on this.
Mm-hmm.
When I go into Whole Foods, and I'm not saying this in a snobby way, but I'm not looking to run into a Walmart shopper when I'm in Whole Foods.
Sounds like you're saying it in a snobby way.
maybe that came across
because you go to Wegmans too, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely shop
all
at Wegmans
the time, right?
Well,
I don't go to Wegmans
because
they're too fucking expensive.
Okay, so you're a Walmart shopper. I don't want to run into you at Wegmans then.
Okay, I think you're being very black and white about this, which is, you're typical. You're black and white about everything,
Hold on.
right?
There's a certain pretty much. There's a certain type of person that, like, if you were to paint the picture of the avatar, make the Rick sketch of a person that walks into Whole Foods. Who are you painting? Like, what does that picture look like? Who is that person?
No, let's look at the bigger picture for you, Doug. So, would you?
You're gonna hurt my feelings now.
Probably.
Okay,
you brought it up, not me, dude.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
So, would you avoid going into Whole Foods if you felt that there was a much higher percentage of Walmart type of customers in there?
No.
There you go. Well, then I'm not going to insult you.
But
as far as users are concerned, right? Like,
but let me say this.
Yeah.
Let me say this though about it.
Yeah.
It's going to change my experience in Whole Foods.
Okay, so it's going to change your experience, but do you think it is going to cause you to go less often or spend less money?
Well, let me say this. There is a difference for me, and let's make it a little bit more specific. If I walk into, there's a difference between me walking into Nordstrom's and me walking into Nordstrom's Rack. Now, be it almost the same products, maybe last year's, I'm not I buy clothes so infrequently that I don't care if I'm buying last year's styles because who the fuck do I care about? I don't even know what last year's style. I know that I can't wear cargo pants anymore. I do know that. But there is a difference when I walk into Nordstrom's and when I walk into Nordstrom's Rack, it's a different experience. And what I would say is there are some times that I'm walking into the store, I'm looking for the right experience. Like when I walk into Whole Foods because, and I don't make a conscious decision to do this, but because I'm walking into the store and because it is a little bit more expensive, I do have a different, or was a little bit more expensive. I did have a different level of service. So unless they beef up the staff, let's say, I'm thinking that there's going to be more people in there. It's going to be more crowded, which means more lines, longer lines. And fuck it, I can afford to go into Whole Foods, not because I'm a snob, but because that's the experience that I'm expecting. If I wanted to save money, I'll walk into Walmart. I have no problem walking into Walmart. I don't dislike people that go to Walmart or a discount shopping place. When I walk into Whole Foods, though, I want a Whole Foods experience. When I walk into Walmart, I am not expecting a Whole Foods experience. When I walk into Whole Foods, I don't want a Walmart experience. And that's what I'm afraid I'm going to get.
Well, this is really interesting. And I think we're actually going to stumble upon some business advice here because
okay. All right.
There are two things at play here. I think, first of all, there is cost versus benefit. And then the second thing is everybody's line is in a different place. So let's address more specifically what you said, right? Okay. And I think Walmart and Target are the perfect example of this. Okay. Where I live, there is a Walmart literally across the street from a Target. Okay. I fucking hate Walmart. I will avoid walking into Walmart at all costs.
See, I don't.
Not just because of the people that are in there, right? Like, I don't want to say like a lower class of people because it's not like that, but it is, it's like.
It's a different shopping experience.
Well, but that's the bigger thing, right? It is a big different shopping experience. Like the aisles are closer together. The people that are there don't give a shit. Like the working, right? The ones that are working, they don't care about you. Whereas I go into Target, right? And Target, I feel is cleaner, nicer. The people are more helpful. They're more friendly, but the prices are the same. Okay. Maybe Walmart might be 2% cheaper, 5% cheaper on some things. In general,
Target, I don't know. I don't know. I think the Target is, I would say, consistently more expensive than Walmart. I don't look at Target at all as a discount department store.
Oh, I totally do. I totally do. Absolutely. Like
I don't even think they align themselves with that brand, with that approach.
Yeah, I think they do, though. I think the Target, again, I'd be really curious to hear other people's perception, but also I'd love to hear the reality of like Walmart prices versus Target prices, because I've always thought they were pretty much the same price.
Okay.
Now,
all right. I'll go. Let's work on that strategy, though.
Well, and I could be wrong, right? If you said to me, let's say we did a study, right? And we found out that Target was actually 20% more expensive. I got to tell you, I'd probably go to Walmart, right? But if you told me it was 5% more expensive, I would still go to Target. And that's what I think is interesting. Where do you draw the line, right? Like
I draw the line with not because of the dollars and cents. I draw because like I said, I have no problem going into Walmart, but there's a different experience. So if you're telling me Amazon's plan is to take over the Whole Foods stores and keep the experience for me the same or make it better, then I would say I'm on board with cheaper prices. That's fine. If you're going to lower the prices and it's going to change my experience when I walk into Whole Foods, I'm going to have a problem with Whole Foods.
Well, there's the hard part too. What is your definition of the experience? Let's say hypothetically, okay, that it is going to be the same level of service.
I can tell you
the same quality of food. Now, there are going to be more people there, but let's say that they open more cashiers. So even though there's a lot more people in the store, okay,
they really have to change the footprint of the store. Then maybe that's part of what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to make less aisles because you can't put more people in the store, and it's not just the registers. It's the deli counter, it's the meat counter, it's the seafood counter, it's the cheese department, it's the vegetables and produce, it's the flour stand. I'm walking through mentally. It's the coffee department. I'm walking mentally through my local Whole Food store in my brain and saying, how can they put more people in this store? So lowering the prices is definitely going to bring more people into the store, or why would they do it?
Of course.
Okay, so you're bringing more people into Whole Foods. How are you going to beef up the staff, make the experience better for your customers? I think that's what Amazon is going to have, and I'm sure I'm not the first person that's told them that. I'm sure that they are thinking about okay, what do we need to do? I mean, why does a store like Tiffany's, silver is silver. I mean, it's the same price. They're all they're doing is having silver. They're molding it into a shape and they're selling it because it's Tiffany's. It's more than whatever, I don't know the cost of per ounce of silver, but it's 10 times more for silver when you walk into Tiffany's as opposed to walking into Costco, where you can get not Tiffany, but you can get a silver, solid sterling silver, whatever you want. I'm just thinking, I'm concerned about the experience that I'm going to have when I walk into Whole Foods.
It is funny because we've talked about this many times before. You are really black and white on things sometimes, and I am all about the gray because I agree with you. I think it is going to change the experience, but what level, right? Like let's say you walk into Whole Foods on a Monday afternoon because you don't work a day job. So you could go in on a Monday afternoon, right? Now, I'm guessing that on a Monday afternoon, it's probably pretty empty, right? So if there were, let's say, hypothetically, 25% more people in there, I'm guessing you would probably say, you know what? We don't have to change the aisles or change the experience for that. 25% more people on a Monday, as long as they've got one or two more people working the cashier and the lines aren't long, I'm good with it. But on a Saturday, like have you been in a Whole Foods on a Saturday afternoon?
It's nuts in there.
Right. So it's nuts in there already, right? Like you're already not great with the environment and the experience that you have on a Saturday afternoon the way it is now. Right?
Yes, exactly. I'm curious what they're going to do. I'm open to the possibility, and I know Amazon is smart enough. Jeff Bezos is smart enough to figure out. I better put some good people on this one because I know what problems we're going to see. I know that there is. I think there are people that walk into Whole Foods that would never walk into Walmart, not because of the people, but because of the type of products that they sell at Walmart. Maybe they're vegan and they just don't want to deal with, or whatever. I don't know, or they don't want to have to deal with the ingredients. They know that when they walk in, they trust the brand Walmart, Whole Foods. I'm not saying that I feel I'm an elitist. I just feel like I like the experience that I get when I walk in there, and I'm just hoping that we can figure out a way to make it so that it's not, so I don't lessen my experience when I go in there.
But I still should be able to. That you don't care about the money, right? Like the money's not a big deal, but the question is, where do you draw the line with that? Let's say that they lower the prices at Whole Foods, right? And you don't like the experience anymore because it's just too crowded and too many people and whatever, right? So let's say right next door there is a Whole Foods type of market, right? But it is like, mom and pop, but it's
well, you know what they call that? They call that Trader Joe's.
Now, you know what's funny as shit?
Yeah.
I have a Trader Joe's near me, right?
Yep.
They're not more expensive.
No, Trader Joe's is extremely inexpensive. Inexpensive.
Okay, so I was going in a different direction. So let's say hypothetically that there is a Trader Joe's type of store that is very similar to Whole Foods, right? But let's say hypothetically that the prices of most products were 50% higher. You probably are not going to do it, right? But
no, probably not.
At 10% higher, would you? You probably would.
Right.
I would pay, for me personally, especially for a grocery store, if I know I'm going to be in there for, 20, 30, 40 minutes. It's not like in and out, right? I absolutely would pay 10% more.
Come and go.
The come and go, right? I absolutely would pay 10% more for a better experience. Would I pay 20% more? Probably not. Everybody's line is in a different place.
Yeah. What's really interesting about what I just discovered about myself, and I don't know how, I don't really know how to put my finger on it exactly, but the whole Trader Joe's experience, it's like, well, why is it then that people go in? I don't have that same. It's inexpensive and it's good quality food, and the experience is still amazing when I walk into Trader Joe's, and I'm wondering why. I guess because it's changing with Whole Foods. It's changing from I'm used to a certain way and now they're about to change it. So I would say probably based upon the conversation, let me make one conclusion, that I am more adverse to change than I thought I really was.
Oh, well, God, yeah, I know that. You didn't realize that about yourself?
No, I didn't realize that because I am thinking through the Trader Joe's experience, and that is low price, good quality food, and and a wonderful experience as well. So
now, are you a member of a like a Costco, Sam's Club type?
Used to belong to Costco, but we it's just me and Danielle. So
yeah, that's true.
We buy toilet paper and we buy like 20 rolls. It will last us like 6 months. Neither one of us is either here.
No, that's true. It's a good point. Because I'm a Costco member, right? And yeah, when I
you should be. You have 5 people in your house,
right? And I try to avoid it on Saturday or Sunday because it's nuts. And when it's that many people, you know what? I'm okay with the experience in the aisles. I just hate waiting a long time because obviously it's just so many people in there. But it's a significant savings on a lot of stuff. And so I totally will put up with that experience because I'm saving a good bit of money. Well, and yes, we buy the case of toilet paper where it's like 48 rolls. Yeah, that's like every other week in my house.
Five. Well, 4 women.
5
no,
women.
Yeah, 4 women.
I'm sorry, 4 women. In the house.
5 women. Strick, you got somebody new in your house I just don't know about?
No. Well, let's see. We got to 1 topic, 2 topics, I think, and we have gone so freaking far over. We said we were going to try and keep it shorter this week, and we've completely failed at that once.
No, we did, but we got onto a good topic. I like the Whole Foods experience conversation.
And we may have actually gotten some business advice across.
Curious what Nice Guy community, what you think. If you have any comments, just hit me up on Twitter at DJ Doug. Just do hashtag Bezos experience. That'll be fun. We'll make it happen. Why don't we get out of here and we'll continue the conversation next week. We'll have we've had so many fucking holdover topics from the last 2 weeks. I don't know.
Good. Then I won't have to mess with the wheel. I'll just keep the same topics on there, and then I won't have to, put the more WD-40 on and change the felt out and all that stuff. I know. There's a whole are you doing preventive maintenance on the wheel now too? And I know the wheel is very important to you. You know what? Maybe I got to talk to Unfolding and find out the mechanics of the fidget spinner, and then and update the wheel to have the same mechanics, except it'll go too long. No. You don't want a 2-minute spin. Yeah, it'll go too long. Imagine spinning that whole wheel. We're gonna be talking, and the wheel's going. That's enough of that. I could have kept going. I don't think I could do 2 minutes, but I could have done that. I want to next week. If we could add to the topics wheel for next week, I want to talk about the experience that you had. If you're at liberty to talk about your experience at the Greenbrier this past weekend with your band. It was interesting. Yes, I can certainly talk about it. It was interesting. I want to hear about it. Nice Guy community, just so you're aware, there was some issues. They were all back of house issues. Nothing that was seen. It's kind of like the expression, "What's a duck look like under the water?" They're flapping as crazy as hell to get their feet moving, but they're really calm and collected on top. I can only imagine what Strickland had to go through this past weekend at an event that he did at a high end event space in West Virginia called the Greenbrier. So. If you put that on the topics wheel for next week, Strick, I do want to. Okay. We very rarely chat about topics that you put up on the wheel, and I love hearing personal shit about you anyway. Okay, fair enough. So we can do that. We could do it. Yeah. All right, Nice Guy community, never underestimate the value of nice. Let's get out of here. Steve O'Brien, take us out here.
The Nice Guys want to hear from you. Call 4242 DJ Doug and ask any questions you like. Well, except about the cloud. Nobody understands the cloud. Don't bring up Santa Claus either. Doug's still a believer. What was so weird? What was so weird with the Greenbrier? Not like with the band thing, and just real quick before we wrap up, because we'll probably put this in as like an Easter egg, right? Mm-hmm. So I get to the Greenbrier, and the guy Corey, he says, he walks me right to where I'm going. It's like totally ridiculous, over the top service, just like you expect from a Greenbrier, right? And he was like, "Here, I want to show you all your dressing room," right? I'm like, "Okay, cool." So you got a dress. Oh, it's not the men's room. No, well, it was like one of the little conference rooms, whatever. But it was like, it's like up a floor. I mean, it's like literally a
probably a 5-8 minute walk from where we are. And I'm thinking,
seriously?
Use this? It's too fucking far away, right? And then the cafeteria, the same thing. Like they fed us in the cafeteria, but I mean, it was literally almost a 10-minute walk to the cafeteria. I'm like, I have no idea how to get back.
God, it's like, no, I can eat it. I have like 5 minutes to eat. Can I just go to the buffet or whatever?
I just don't get that, right? But the weird one was there was a guy who was just like one of their side guys, whatever, right? Corey, the main guy, he here's your stage and here's your setup and everything. And here's Tim, when your other players get here, you just tell Tim and Tim will go and meet them. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm doing my setup.
Tim was
right?
your band. Tim's your band guy.
Right. But like,
Tim's like assigned to the band.
Exactly. That was it. I'm setting up and Tim's like standing there hanging out. He's like, when's the rest of the band going to get here? I'm like, probably not for like another hour and a half. It's like, okay. And he's just sitting there, and I'm sitting there. And then like 5 minutes later, he's like, "I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be right back." I'm like, "Okay." Like he comes back, and then like 15 minutes later, he's like, "I'm gonna go take a load off and sit over there. Just let me know if you need anything." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Dude, I don't fucking need you to sit here and like wait on me for." Eventually,
just so you know, was his name Tim? Is that what you said?
I think it was. I don't remember.
So just so you know, Tim, I've done 2,000 of these, and I've never once had a Tim.
Right? Exactly.
I am okay. You know what, Tim? Could you go get me some? Why don't you get me some food?
Right, I would have loved that.
Have a drink from the bar,
Tim,
please.
You know how you could be really helpful? Go to the cafeteria because you know where it is, right? Get me some fucking food and bring it back here because I don't want to walk 10 minutes to the cafeteria, get lost.
I did an event. I did an event this past weekend, and I God bless the event planner. She did a marvelous job. The event was great, and so appreciate whenever I have a professional that hears me, that takes my advice, and I take their advice, and we communicate. And she's like a team player. Mm-hmm. There was one thing which always it just fries my fritters to the nth degree, and I just don't know how to say it without sounding insulting when I'm actually having the conversation. They're like, "Okay, well, we have a vendor meal, so what time would you like it?" And so I know what happens. Let's just say I say, okay, 8:30. Mm-hmm. Well, 8:30 comes, and because it's got to be perfectly timed, especially in the bar mitzvah world. I literally have 5 fucking minutes to eat. Yep. So they bring it out. It's like 8:45, and I'm like, what the fuck is it? I can't. What am I going to do now? Okay, so and I have to take it because I don't want to waste the client's money because they spent money on the meal. I'm like, I just don't know. How do you say it? So could I just go? I'm not asking you that I can go through the kids' buffet so that I can save you money or save you time. I can't deal with a kitchen who wants to serve me last because the guests and the kids have got to eat first. And I totally get that. But when you serve me last, I fucking can't eat. So you may as well just not feed me. Save your fucking money.
Well, we play continuous music now, right? We don't do a break. And so what we do during dinner is we rotate people in and out, and I'll do 2 or 3 people at a time. And I say the same thing. I'm like, they'll say, the caterer will be like, okay, after the last entree is dropped, then we'll serve you guys.
Thank you, but
no, you don't get it. When that last entree is dropped, 5 minutes later, I'm not going to stop until the end of the night. And by the way, when you say right after the last one is dropped, no, it's like 15 fucking minutes after the last one is dropped, which is always what happens. And then I'm
in your
playing
particular
music.
Yeah, and in your world, it's different because you're a band. You're using your body. You're using your arms to play the instruments, and you're singing. You can't be on stage eating. At least if I'm DJing and there are people that are coming, at least I can hide it. Exactly. Right. I can take a bite every once in a while. But why put me in that position? Why not just let me get, it's almost like they say that, not just this event planner, because again, she was wonderful. This had nothing to do with them. And I'm not even blaming the venue. The venue has got to take care of the guest first. I do not expect to be taken care of. But it's almost like I want to say when somebody says, okay, we got the vendor meal thing to you. I'm like, okay, well then can you just give it to me when I first walk in the door and start setting up my equipment? Because that will give me the opportunity to like do my shit and everything that I got to do. I almost want to put my arm around him and say, listen, I've done 3,500 events, 3,000 events in my career. This isn't going to work. Well, but I don't want to sound like a dick, and I know that's what it sounds like.
When I can talk to the right person ahead of time, the way I present it, and believe me, I have absolutely presented it this way many times. I will say to them, what time do you plan to have, when they say, hey, they provided vendor meals, like that is terrific. What time do you guys plan on doing that? And if they say after the guests are served, I will say to them, can I ask you a question? I said, look, the first thing I start with is I don't want you to think that I think we're more important than the guests.
Yes.
Okay? I preface with that right up front. I'm like, I'm sure you deal with a lot of bands that are very diva-ish. We are not that at all. We want to make this as easy as possible.
I appreciate even being thought of for a meal.
Right. And that's the other thing, right? Like so many bands are like, you have to feed us, right? I tell them right up front, like, we don't even require meals. We so appreciate it. Right.
Yep.
But just to let you know, like we play continuous music and we rotate people in and out. And like, if you do that, we will not get a chance to eat and it's going to waste the client's money. I'd rather not do that. I said, I don't want to hang the kitchen up. And I know when entrees are going out is totally your busiest time. Like whatever it is they're feeding us, if you could give it to us even before the salads, I would rather have it a little bit cold than not be able to eat it at all. I tell them that. And I'm like, the worst one, I had a caterer one time. They're like, can we get the meal? No, wait till we're done with the guests. Wait till we're done with the guests. Okay. The last one goes out and I'm kind of looking at them. They point to the corner and it's fucking bag lunches. Like, dude, you specifically told me you would feed me after the last entree is out. And your definition of feeding me was pointing to the bag lunches that were made 5 hours ago? Fuck you. You could have fucking pointed to those before the party even started. I would have been happy to get them myself. Oh, I hate it. I was so pissed. I wanted to fucking
And by the way,
them.
Strick, I know how you love mayonnaise. Those sandwiches all have mayonnaise on them too.
Exactly. Oh my God.
All bonus material.
This is going to be the longest Easter egg ever.
Longest Easter egg
because I have to include this shit. Yeah.
All right, just hit stop. Hit stop.
I just want to tell you all good luck. We're all counting on you.